Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless. And I'm back once again. Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. Beautiful weather. It's been actually extremely hot the last few days here in Chicago. And it's October. It's strange that we still having 90-degree plus weather, almost in the second week of October. It's supposed to be fall. The leaves should be changing colors, and it should be hoodie weather and Timberland weather. But to no avail, we have an extended summer, it seems. Uh, if I didn't work outside in the elements, I would probably not care. But man, I'm ready for fall. Where is fall? But yeah, anyway, man, as the title says, ICE raids in Chicago are not Trump's fault, man. It's not the president's fault. I did a podcast last night on the Kingpin the Crux show. Um, and one of the guys that came through, prior to us going live, it was a heated discussion, which I didn't care because he came by before and we bumped heads on issues. One thing I can't deal with is an emotional man. I can't deal with, if we're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. But all this emotion, we got to think logical. Uh, and as you know, Donald Trump has basically sent in ICE to do these ICE raids in Chicago. They setting up shop. Um, and, they actually went into the neighborhood, 75th and South Shore, like Black Hawk helicopters hovering over apartment buildings. They looking for who they looking for. They going in and laying a whole 5-story apartment flat in less than 10 minutes, going in every door, um, zip tying people that everybody gets zip tied. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is getting detained. And I don't like to see it. Like the guy was bringing it up and he was full of emotion. Like this is happening in our black community. And, I get it. But listen, I've been telling y'all that this would be the case. Like this ain't no white or black situation as it pertains to how you trying to frame it. But the guy was just too emotional. No, you can go this. And I said, you know what? This is my podcast. I put, you a guest, bro. And before we even went live, I had to if I came into your house or your podcast, or it's just a level of respect, bro. I don't choose to have this conversation with you. You could go on a show that's after me, But for as me, I don't want to engage with you because I'm not in the mood to be yelled at or raising my voice. And he went on the show after mine, so I couldn't deal with that. I just was not in the mood, and it was gonna go super left. But I have to say this because I heard what he was saying, and it was just full of emotion. And you got to leave politics out of it. No, politics are directly tied to this. That's why as we mature and get older, we have to be politically aware of what's going on because this is something I've been following closely. Even with the series that I've been doing to the Mayor Brandon Johnson. With I got 10 parts. My first part to Mayor Brandon Johnson, which I played in part 10, was mass deportation is coming. Soon as Trump got elected, before he even took office back in November, he said, all you sanctuary cities, We coming there. We coming. First day one. What Brandon Johnson had told the president is this. What Governor Pritzker has told the president is this. We're going to fight you on mass deportation. We're going to tell our police department not to help and aid in assisting with mass deportation. We're going to tell our jails to not allow you into the jail as we arrest these illegal immigrants to come get them. Right? Now, that's the most crucial part as to why they were on 75th and South Shore. Because the people that they came to get, it was 6 individuals. These 6 individuals, 9 times out of 10, they did full investigations on. These 6 individuals that they were aiming for, 9 times out of 10, probably had prior arrest. But being a sanctuary city under their law, they cannot keep the people incarcerated, but for a short amount of time, maybe 3 weeks to a month. No matter, even if they commit a murder, they have to release these people back to society under sanctuary city status. They can't prosecute them. They can't do nothing. So Tom Homan, who is the chief and commander, the head of ICE, said, "Well, just let us into your jails. So when you let us know when you arrest them. We're not looking for the regular illegal immigrants that's going about their business. Give us the worst of the worst, the ones that get arrested." And the local and state government here in Chicago said, "No, we're gonna fight you." And actually, we're gonna tell our police officers to don't even help you. Instead of working with the federal government. Now, if you think about that, as the Black community is upset and enraged about ICE coming in and doing what they did on 75th of South Chicago, he said, Tom Homan said, "If you don't let us into your jails, we're going to come into your communities." They said this 10, 11 months ago. They said this. So I knew this day was coming. Instead of holding the local government and the mayor accountable for not working with the federal government, now you got people out here, upset. Oh, they zip tag babies and the elderly and all of this and that, right? Well, you know what the federal government gonna do? They not gonna say no. They don't care. We see what the federal government gonna do. Do I like to see it? No, but I knew it was coming. I knew the day was coming, and they're not done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to my guy. He like, "Oh man, they just went in there and it wasn't no gang activity. Those were just regular illegal immigrants that was living there." I'm like, "Bro." He like, "Man, I talked to some of the guys over there." I'm like, "Bro, listen, the federal government are alleging that these people are members of the cartels. You know what I'm saying? Trinidad Aragua. They work. So somebody you talk to on the side of the street that sell loose cigarettes, they don't know what them. I mean, these guys, if they who the government think they are, they not gonna be telling their business to somebody on the street selling loose squares. They might be cool with they might even buy some loose squares. Like, even though they from Venezuela and they don't speak that much English, they not stupid. These are high-ranking members of a cartel. They know not to tell you. I mean, who finna go around just telling their business if they are allegedly involved in criminal activity at that level, at that magnitude in a cartel? You think they're gonna be running around, no, you might not know what they got going on, but they could be on the phone with El Chapo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they not gonna make it hot where they live. They know how to move. What are you talking about? These are people that are sophisticated gangsters. They might be from a different country, but they not slow. You know what I'm saying? So whoever you talking to is telling you that they wasn't doing nothing. They don't really know that. Let me tell you something. On 75th and South Shore, as we saw the images of 300 federal agents with assault rifles walking down 75th and South Shore Drive, surrounding this apartment complex with a Black Hawk helicopter descending on the roof. They listen, you know how much money that operation cost? Do you know how much time and effort they put into doing that? They not finna waste all that money and all that time to go lay a 5-story apartment. They didn't go there blindly, and they perceived it to be a massive threat if they used 300 agents in a helicopter. Normally the feds come in, they might have, 10 to 20, to go in there. No, they had vans and helicopters, bro. So you mean to tell me these just some regular illegal immigrants? I don't think so. These people, like when Trump came in months ago and said, we sending in the National Guard into Chicago, that should have told you right there that the feds already been in Chicago. If he's on national television saying it, they've been here. They tapping phones. They wiring everything. They know everything and everybody, what they got going on. They've been here. I knew that when Trump said it. I knew the feds been. I knew they've been watching. So for them to descend on a specific building like that for specific individuals and detain everybody, yeah, they've been watching. And they've been here for a long time. And you can't blame Trump. Because let me tell you something, black people. When these people who they are watching commit crimes, heinous crimes, part of whatever, that they assume allegedly, they don't put them in the white communities. They put these threats to society in your community. Brandon Johnson and the governor of Illinois spent hundreds of millions of dollars on illegal immigrants, but gave the black community nothing. Not only did they do that, they flooded your community with these people because they can't put them nowhere else because no other community would tolerate it while everybody running around protesting against ICE. They ain't gonna take these illegal immigrants into their community. You know why? Because they suck up all the resources and they're not accounted for. If they undocumented, they don't even have fingerprints. They can get away with anything. They fly under the radar and you have to pay your tax dollars. And people wonder why so much money getting in the state of Illinois, you working, and why they taking so much out your check. A lot of that is state tax. It's not federal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is you covering the cost of undocumented people that have to be accounted for. We don't have unlimited resources in our city, in our state, in our country to take care of undocumented people. You have to go, like, I don't have nothing against no specific group of people, but you just have to come in the proper way. Go to China, go to Russia, hell, go to Venezuela and try to come in here, come in their country undocumented. They're not going to allow that. So why should we allow that? It messes up it on so many different levels. It messes up the financial, economicals. It messes up the safety issue. It's a safety breach On every turn, it's a horrible idea to become a sanctuary city, to have open border policy. And Trump from day one said, man, we going there. And if you don't let us in, why wouldn't you let them in your jails to go get the bad ones that's committing heinous crimes, which they just gonna release back to the black community? And you wonder why you got so many black women missing in Chicago. How could you be so more outraged at black people being detained by ICE and let go than you are than the mass shootings that happen every weekend in Chicago? This selective outrage, like this gentleman was having at the podcast yesterday. You so upset about black babies being detained by ICE in the middle of the night, which is understandable, but you don't have any energy towards the 70-year-old man that was beat to death on a bus stop the other week, or the 50 people, 60 people that got shot over Labor Day weekend, which 10 were unalive. You don't have no outrage towards the week prior to that. 30 people were shot and 10 were unalive. You don't have, you more outraged by ICE that didn't unalive anybody. Yeah, it's messed up that they, came into the community, but you don't want to talk about the politics. See, everything has a cause and effect. And if we don't understand the cause and effect and just react emotional, we don't have no solution. Because see, if you can't control your communities, the federal government gonna come in and control it for you. That's what this boils down to. That's why the ICE raids that happened in Chicago is not the president's fault. It's not ICE's fault that your communities are out of control, that your local government is irresponsible. See, yeah, you got to break down the the reasons for why ICE is on 75th and South Shore. I don't want to see the military there, but at some point, what you think gonna happen? I'm just saying, bro. It ain't the president's fault, man. If you want to blame somebody, blame your local and state government. Blame Brandon Johnson for not allowing ICE to go into the jails. That's a better way. He'd be like, hey, if you let us go into the jail, call us up. Will you arrest these guys? And we'll come get them. We won't go into we'll have no need to go into the community. But if you don't, we're gonna have to do it the hard way. So, I mean, how could you be mad? It ain't their fault. They tried to go about it the proper way, but the Democratic Party has decided. That's why we got this government shutdown right now. For some reason, they so in love with illegal immigrants that they even shut the government down to protect them. They trying to give them free health care while we complain about high taxes. Where you think part of this come from? These people getting all this free stuff, and it got to come from somewhere. We got to pay for it. So no, it ain't the president's fault. Now the governor and the mayor, now they were saying like, why is Trump going into all the blue cities? That was the argument before. Like every time it's something, they come with a different argument. Oh, why? Yeah, crime down in Chicago. Why? It's more crime in red states. Why they going to blue states? Yeah, it's red states, but it's blue red cities. For example, Tennessee is a red state, but Memphis is a blue city. But cool, shout outs to the mayor of Memphis. He played the game. That man, that's a black mayor, a black man in Memphis, smart man. He a Democrat, but he's smart. His governor is a Republican. They got a crime epidemic I think Memphis by capita is one of the most dangerous cities in the world, like the top 50 in the world. How do we have an American city that even is considered to be in the top 50 worst cities per capita in the world? So even though he politically he has to be against the National Guard coming into his city, but he said, hey, ain't much I could do about that. I don't want that. I don't want to see the National Guard in Memphis, but I'm not going to fight against the federal government. We're going to work with them and see how we can make this better for everybody. That was the most, that mayor is way smarter than Brandon Johnson, way smarter than all these other Democrats, because you're going to have less militarization on your streets. It all leads back to politics. So you're not going to have a situation like that happen on 75th and South Shore in Chicago, because the mayor is going to work with the federal government to get the intended targets. When they get arrested, they just gonna give them to the ICE agents instead of the ICE agents having to go into the community. Like Tom Homan said in the beginning, if we got to go into the community, that's more dangerous for the ICE agents. That's more danger for the actual illegal immigrant, and it's more dangerous for the community. But we gonna get the job done because they got to get up out of here. He said that numerous of times. Tom Homan, and I've been reporting on it and screaming from the mountaintops. If you don't, you're going to see the United States military in your neighborhood, because they not playing about this mass deportation. They not playing, bro. This administration is not. They not playing. And ICE, I'm telling you, if they do these investigations and they come in to get who they came to get, hey, it's this time. It is time out to be out here dangling. It's time out to be out here trying to be cool and riding dirty, man. Get your affairs in order. You know, keep your situation nice and tight, man, because they out here. And the reason they out here in the capacity that they are is largely due to your local and state government. It's time out for emotionalism. This ain't got nothing to do about racism. This ain't got nothing to do about what they targeting black community. No, this all goes back to being a sanctuary city, and these illegal immigrants and mass deportation has been on the top of the agenda. And they are, and this is what I voted for. Actually, I don't want to see it. I hate to hear about it, but this is what I voted for, because we have to get our population under control. We have to, man. Otherwise, as a country, we're going to continue to sink. It has to be law and order, man. It has to be. You know what I'm saying? Or we just going to be a lawless city, man. A lawless state in a lawless country. Well, I know people going to be mad at this one, but hey, man, it's your boy Jay Taylor. Drop it off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And until next time, peace and blessings. We love y'all. We should see you soon. Love.